Welcome back to Justice League Dark. My name is Benny, and I'm the host of Comicstorian, your location on YouTube where we explain your favorite comic book knowledge, we give you the information that happened in a comic book, and we help you catch up on your favorite storylines. Justice League Dark is a storyline that started all the way back in 2016, in which Wonder Woman built a team of magic-wielding DC superheroes to battle against the forces of the supernatural. They have battled against quite a few things, but when we last left off, the other kind was breaking into our universe to steal all of our magic. And the Justice League Dark was also busy dealing with Cersei and various other magic-wielding supervillains. The playlist for that will be down below, so you can catch up entirely if you want to. But let's get into today's story with Justice League Dark number 14. As the glow of the moon illuminates the Hall of Justice, inside the confined walls, Wonder Woman sleeps. But as she does, she tosses and turns, and soon she can see it. She sits up to see the entire room is on fire, and a voice is calling out to her, a voice that says that it is time to finally speak to one another. Wonder Woman asks who is there, and then like magic, the fire parts, showing her where to go. She follows the path downstairs and looks around, stating that this looks like the Wintergate Manor, but she takes it that he isn't Baron Winters. The man on fire, laying on the table, lifts his head and says that she must forgive him for the bold opening. He had very little imagery to work with. Wonder Woman examines the man, stating that he is Zatara, the father of Zatanna. And Zatara says, "Yes, but please sit. We don't have much time, Wonder Woman. My daughter Zatanna has the power to save us, but your power is quite the opposite. I tried to tell Zatanna this back when this all began, Wonder Woman. You are the great shining hero of light, the daughter of Zeus himself, but you have felt the dark tendrils of magic entangling your very soul. You have held magic's power." Wonder Woman tells him yes, and she relinquished it. But he laughs, telling her, "Oh, if only it was that easy. You see, it's still inside of you, and if our adversary gets it, there will be no hope left." Wonder Woman states the other kind, the upside-down man. But Zatara says that he is a force of nature, and he has struck a deal with the one that she needs to fear. Your enemy is on the move. Her army is being built beneath your feet. When she has her last recruit, you will fall. But suddenly Wonder Woman feels a presence, and when she looks back, the upside-down man appears in the window, stating, "Oh, Zatara, you're cheating again. Perhaps it's time I eat that mouth of yours." Zatara stands up yelling, "You should not have said his name. The great witching war is about to begin. Now, Ikwapu." In an instant, Wonder Woman wakes up in her bed, gasping for air, and she grabs her communicator, radioing to Zatanna that she had the strangest. But Zatanna stops her, shouting that they have been trying to reach her for the better part of an hour. They are being attacked by vampire, and there are entirely too many vampires. As the vampires swarm the Justice League Dark members, Bobo yells that he swears that whatever unholy magic gods haven't been killed in the past hour, if he gets turned into a vampire, he is biting everyone. Man-Bat swoops in, picking up Bobo, telling him that that is incredibly rude. And Bobo laughs, telling him, "It's not like you aren't already halfway there." While everyone continues to stand their ground, Khaled yells that he needs everyone to get down. Kent and him are ready with the spell. It's about to get very bright in here. A second later, a blinding light, the light of Dr. Fate, shines in, burning away the vampires, and Zatara says that that should clear up the entire coven. Wonder Woman tells her that she's sorry for not being there. But Zatanna says that it's cool, but they gotta finish up here, talk to her soon. So later at the Oblivion Bar, Wonder Woman meets with Constantine and tells him that she feels that there is more to this thing than they see. Someone has been helping her along the way, and she has to find out who, and Constantine says that he has been in the dishonest business for most of his life. Here's a tip. Who has been there every step of the way? Who a few months ago would you never have expected to take a second look at this? And Wonder Woman pauses for a moment and realizes what he's talking about. Back at the church, the other Justice League Dark members begin to clean up when Bobo notices a cat hiding in the pews. He reaches out, grabbing it by its tail, but the cat spins around, swiping at his face. So he throws the cat, shouting, "Ow! The little monster scratched me!" And Zatanna says that he did grab it by its tail. It was within its rights. Anyway, they need to go clean up. Elsewhere in the church, though, the cat wakes up along the high-rise, and a young boy says, "Aw, did the bad chimpanzee touch you, my little sweet tickle? We will teach him the rules of our little games. You do not touch the toys of the witch boy." However, as the witch boy finishes, Man-Bat flies up and says, "Hello. I know we look frightening, but I swear the horror has ended. It's safe for you to leave now." The witch boy tells him that everything is fine. There is no one up here but a menacing shadow and a pounding sense of dread that you'd never admit to your teammates. You want them to like you after all, right? How painful would it be for them to learn about the fraud that you are? As the witch boy casts his spell, Man-Bat begins to cry, stating that he is a fraud. What if they find out? The witch boy tells him that he needs to make a very frightening serum then. He'd have to scare them so that they'd know to never tell. Man-Bat looks away and says, "That's right. Yes, I can do that." As the Man-Bat flies back down to the others, the witch boy tells his cat that it's time for them to get back to the others. A short while later, over in Jamaica, the witch boy appears and his cat begins to growl. He looks up at the slumbering Solomon Grundy, and he tells the cat that it's okay. Dear Cyrus is a friend of ours and ally. Isn't that right? Grundy looks down. Grundy, Monday. Just then, Papa Midnight walks out, stating that poor old Grundy's brain has rotten away, Clarion. You'd have more luck speaking to one of the shambling guests here at the resort. One of the undead then brings them a tray of drinks, and Clarion says, "Oh, a Shirley Temple, my favorite! But, do you think that she found another recruit for this witching war that we've signed up for?" Out of the brush, Woodrue steps out, stating that he believes that it may be him, and at that moment, a familiar voice calls out, "The time for introductions will be soon enough. The time to act has come. Hecate's rule over magic is finished, and soon the magic will meet its new goddess." Cersei, the one that Wonder Woman was referencing, begins to gather her power, yelling that the witching war has begun, and they do not understand what they face. They believe that their Justice League Dark will be enough, but with their last recruit, the Justice League Dark will fall. Midnight asks who is left to recruit, and Cersei tells him that history has given this being many names, but the heroes, they call him Eclipso. Later, at the Hall of Justice archives, Zatanna runs with the others, stating that they came as quickly as they could. But before she could finish, Wonder Woman tells Swamp Thing that she has a question. When they were on that island with Cersei, could he feel the green, or did the magic of the island isolate it? Swamp Thing thinks back and tells her that he sensed nothing wrong as far as he could remember. Wonder Woman says that she needs his eyes on the island. They need to see if Cersei is still there. So after a few moments, he says that the island is empty. It is as if she was never there, but the energy of it is familiar. Wonder Woman tells him that that energy is the witch mark. Cersei is the final bearer of the witch mark. That's why she wouldn't face Hecate directly. She wanted all the others to fall so that all that witch mark power would go right to her. Khaled rubs his neck, stating that he is so lost, and Bobo tells him that it was a whole thing, a real bad thing. Wonder Woman here became the witch. Wonder Woman then says that they need to find out what Cersei is plotting. Swamp Thing, Bobo, Man-Bat, Khaled will focus on that. She, Kent, and Zatanna will have a private conversation. And as the others leave, Zatanna and Kent follow Wonder Woman, and Zatanna says that something happened. What is it? She begins to tell him that her father came to him in a dream. She explains that her father said that Wonder Woman was going to destroy the world, that there is still a great deal of power in her, that she is still holding on to the power of the witch mark. As the three get closer to a sealed door, Kent says that he can feel something powerful ahead. And Wonder Woman tells him that she designed this cavern in the Hall of Justice. Its true purpose was to contain the harmful, extremely dangerous objects, some of the most menacing magical artifacts that have ever existed on our plane of reality. The doors creak open, and dozens of artifacts are on display, and Wonder Woman says that they have a few here, such as the Spear of Destiny, the Ace of the Winchesters, and the Crystal Ball of Merlin. Kent looks over at the helmet of Naboo, stating that he was wondering where they put the Dr. Fate helmet. Wonder Woman continues telling him that if she could build a prison to hold him, then it can hold Naboo. Kent says who, and opens up the next door, stating the Black Diamond of Eclipso. Eclipso yells from his crystal, "Release me!" And Kent steps back, asking why would she bring them here. She looks at him, stating that she needs to return to Hecate's domain, at the crest of the collective unconsciousness, above the sphere of the gods. She needs a power tied to the symbol of the moon to do that, and she needs them to make sure not to hand her soul over to Eclipso while they do it. Zatanna says that they can't, but Wonder Woman stops her, stating that they must. Please, if there is still power within her, they may have a chance. They must move before it's too late. There's no telling what Cersei already has set in motion. Meanwhile, over at the Parliament of Flowers, the Parliament shouts, demanding to know who disturbs them. Woodrue states that he is their elemental guardian, the protector of the green. One of the flowers states that they did not choose him, and Woodrue opens up his mouth, stating that they will find him to be an excellent choice. He ate their champion. He took the power from the king of the petals. And he has come here offering up a proposition from the new goddess of magic. They were promised a new world, a world of flowers, and he can give it. Wait, someone is here. From the bushes, Swamp Thing lunges out, asking, "What are you doing?" Woodrue quickly binds him up, telling him that he does not belong here anymore. He shall gift him blight, and it will eat him out from the inside. It will be a struggle to hold one's form, to even stay alive. Swamp Thing sees his arms beginning to wilt, and he yells, "Stop!" And as he frees himself, Woodrue yells, "Yes, run through the vines, you horrible swamp thing! Go back to your dank place of death." Back at the Hall of Justice, Swamp Thing screams out in pain, trying to hold his form, and Bobo shouts, asking, "What's wrong?" Swamp Thing turns back as his body is deteriorating, stating, "Abby, find Abby! She can stop the rot!" As Swamp Thing's body turns into a pile of green goop, Bobo holds his head, stating, "Damn it! This is the beginning of something! Why can't we just have a moment of peace?" Just then, Man-Bat walks up holding a syringe, stating, "You all thought I was mad, some terrible fraud. You don't understand the monsters that live inside my head. I've kept them all from you." Bobo asks, "What are you?" And Khaled states that he is under some kind of a spell. Man-Bat takes the syringe and begins to push it into his neck, telling them, "I need to show you." As he injects himself, his body begins to grow into a giant, grotesque creature with several heads and mouths. And back at the armory, Kent and Zatanna focus their spells, and Kent says that this is a terrible idea. Zatanna, no matter what, they must not touch the stone. Zatanna scoffs, stating that she wouldn't touch the thing even if she wanted to. And Eclipso begins to sniff, stating that he can smell the magic. "Give me a taste, it's been so long." Zatanna calls out to Wonder Woman, telling her that she has to hurry, and as Wonder Woman opens up her eyes, she wakes up in the collective unconsciousness, asking if it worked. Witchfire smokes a cigarette, stating that that's one way of putting it. And Wonder Woman tells her that she needs help. She needs to find the center of Hecate's power. Witchfire blows the smoke back, telling her, "You should run. You should have run to the other side of eternity." As Witchfire trembles, Wonder Woman asks what has her so frightened, and at that moment, Cersei appears behind them. Witchfire runs off screaming, and Cersei asks where would she run to. The power in this dimension is a part of her now. As Wonder Woman's body begins to split apart, Cersei goes on showing images of her team, stating that she can see that her agents have bound with the powers of life and death. Each now serves Cersei now. Wonder Woman tries to maintain herself, stating that she was played. And Cersei tells her, "Yes, like a fool. You were always so desperate to see the best in people. You failed to see their true intentions. Hecate has offered you a piece of her soul, and you didn't want just a piece. You wanted it all, and you shall have it all, Diana." Back at the Hall of Justice, Bobo and Khaled hide behind a pillar, watching Man-Bat from afar, and Khaled says that it looks like they shook him off their trail. Bobo asks, "What the hell did that lunatic do to himself?" And Khaled tells him that Man-Bat is clearly enchanted. Perhaps this is intended to be a distraction. Bobo nods, telling him that a giant mutant bat from hell is a pretty good distraction. He then pulls the remains of Swamp Thing out of his pocket, scratching his head, asking, "And who is Abby?" Khaled shouts, "Don't ask me. I was stuck in a vase for the past year." Suddenly, Man-Bat shrieks and comes crashing down, stating, You need your medicine." As the two begin to run, Bobo shouts, asking, "Where the hell is Wonder Woman?" As he stops, he looks at the door, stating, "Actually, this might work. Follow me, Khaled." Back in the collective unconsciousness, Cersei tells Wonder Woman that she knows the story. In the beginning, there was magic, and her name was Hecate. She was a blinding light of creativity, of imagination. Her power was near limitless, and she was more than a goddess. She was creation itself. She was the moon, the true moon, the silver light that cast its magic down upon the earth, and they feared her. Nature was meant to be balanced. The yin was meant to have the yang. But Hecate had sealed away her dark double, the upside down of her power. And without an opposite, Hecate was unstoppable. The other great powers would need to craft a dark mirror of her power, a spirit of unbridled vengeance that hated all magic, a means of fighting back should she ever grow too powerful, the power to eclipse her own. Cersei goes on stating that once she holds Eclipso's diamond, there will be nothing that can stop her. With Wonder Woman's distorted face, she looks back, stating that you have gone mad. I feel for you. Let me help. No singular being is capable of wielding that kind of power, Cersei. You saw what happened to Hecate, how it broke her mind. Cersei scoffs, telling her, Hecate was weak, and I do not have such weakness, Diana. Meanwhile, over at the Oblivion bar, Bobo begins drinking out of several bottles as Khaled asks, Really? This is your great plan? Bobo tells him, Cool it! Almost there. Found the right one. Khaled pulls Bobo from the bar, yelling that a giant monster is trying to kill them, and at that moment, Man-Bat bursts in through the doors, and Bobo says that all the knowledge in the damned universe has taught him a few things. That the monsters win. The monsters will always win. Good people get in their way, and it destroys them. It's foolish to try, self-destructive, irresponsible, and lucky for him, he is all of those things. As Bobo finishes stuffing a piece of cloth into the bottle, he lights the tip on fire and throws it at the monstrous Man-Bat, igniting a ring of fire around him. Bobo grabs another bottle from the bar, taking a drink, telling Khaled that now that they have that settled, they need to find out what can be done to reverse all of this. He's got somewhere to be. Bobo walks over to the statue of the Blue Devil and says that he needs help. Constantine walks out of the shadows, stating that Man-Bat has lost his marbles. Can't say that that's really surprising, though. Bobo reaches into his coat, telling him that it's not about that. It's about the goopy mess that Swamp Thing has turned into. Constantine takes a slow drag from his cigarette. Oh, hell. Bobo lights a cigar and says, Does Abby ring any bells? And Constantine groans. Damn it! This is all going sideways. Back in the archives, Wonder Woman gasps for air, jolting up. Zatanna tries to catch her breath, telling her that they had to pull her back. They were losing control. They put Eclipso back in his cage. Kent asks if she got what she needed, and Wonder Woman pulls her cloak over her head, stating that she did. She got exactly what she needed, and as she smiles, the witch mark burns in her forehead. Back in the collective unconsciousness, the real Wonder Woman, now trapped in this otherworldly domain, yells, No, Zatanna, hear me, sister! The witch mark tells her that it's not going to work. It's all over now. Everything has changed. Wonder Woman gets a glimpse of a green light that appears over her, because doom has come, and Cersei is in control of her body. And that is where we're going to leave this chapter of Justice League Dark right here. Now, if you're wondering what the Doom Sigil in the sky is, it is a part of the Year of the Villain. As I said with the Teen Titans storyline, we got so far behind in a lot of these that we're currently catching up. You don't really need to worry about the Doom Sigil at all, because overall the plot is that Cersei took control of Wonder Woman's body. So what does that mean? And if you're wondering what the witch mark and all of that is, it's an untold amount of power that Wonder Woman tried to control, and it turned her evil. And I'll give you that link to that storyline down below. But that's where we are. We're building up to the big battle, the big war of magic against the other kind, against Cersei and the Justice League Dark. So if you want to know what happens next, make sure you subscribe to the channel, as every Sunday, we're going to be bringing you another chapter of Justice League Dark to celebrate Halloween and catch up on this plot. Don't forget to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Comicstorian, where you can also get early access to a lot of these videos, and you'll get early access to the next chapter. And thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it, and happy Halloween season. A lot more scary crap is coming out.